Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It is Tarot Time with Cindy. I'm going to be doing a general collective message. Before I kind of get started, I'm just going to remind y'all that it is general, and because it's general, it may or may not resonate. If it does, I'm very glad that we were able to connect. If it does not, hopefully next time. So I pulled out, I was going to start with just the fairy deck. To kind of just get started here. I just wanted to get a little bit of context, your energy, any energy outside of you. And then I got a little bit ahead of myself. So I'm going to show you what I pulled out because your cards were so interesting. A card, I should actually say, that I wanted to go, before I even came on the camera, I'm like, what's going on? I want a little more context here. So then I went in Shadow of the Middle Ages. This is the fairy card that y'all got. It's a card in the deck that is provided by the creator of this deck, Brian Froud, and it's blank, and you can create your own fairy to go in here. Now, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I think like I've had this deck for probably about 5 years now, and I've never felt the need or desire to put like something in here. There's something to me that feels really symbolic about it being blank. But it came out in the reverse. Like, oh, what does that mean? I mean, it's blank. So to me, it almost feels like, okay, there isn't a fairy energy that you're putting in there. You may have well, this is interesting too, as I say that, because this lock card is one of the underlying. I'll get into all of it in a minute. But you may have closed off like some type of energy, or you've closed off your energy, or you've done something here fairly significant where I kind of feel like there is I just want to say you may have reacted to something in a particular way where you may have closed off a bit of magic or guidance that comes to you. Now, may or may not. We'll see how this develops. Then the card that I got for you, and I only got one for you, from the Shadows of the Middle Ages, was the bird card, the birds card. So the birds can be about communication. It's birds of a feather. You know, these could be friends that you're conversing with, getting together, could be sharing tea. Yeah. Now, at first I thought, okay, is this like you've completely closed off communication with people, or it didn't feel right. Like, it actually felt like to me that this is kind of symbolic of where your energy sits right now. It could literally be like you and one very close friend, and that's it. So it's you and one very close friend, and that's it. Not even the fairies are getting in right now. Like, not even the fairies are getting in to your energy. The Ra is the underlying in the fairy deck, and the Ra represents wild, pure potential. You do have to be careful with this energy. You don't want it to get like kind of become overwhelmed by it and run off half cocked or anything like that. But it does tell you, take advantage of this energy when it comes through, but do it in kind of, I guess, like a level-headed way. Okay. So let me get into this energy outside of you. You know what? That's really weird. I'm just like realizing now. When I shuffled for the energy outside of you when I went into the fairies, 3 cards fell out. Now what's odd was your card fell out first. All of the cards fell out face down. So I couldn't see what was going on as I was shuffling. So your card fell out first, face down. And then I did a couple more shuffles. And then 3 other cards came out, and they all like landed on yours, but they still somehow maintained like a separateness. So if I can recreate it for you, it's kind of like your card comes flying out, and then these 3 cards land like that. Like, it just, you could really tell that this energy was still separate. So I looked at yours and I was like, whoa, like I said, it's the blank card, but it's reversed. And then I picked up the 3 here. So this energy outside of you has Epona's wild daughter in the upright, and then it has the fairy godmother in the reverse, and then it has Faf the footer in the reverse. So this Epona's wild daughter, this is about trying to solve the riddles in life that we have to answer before we can move forward. And a lot of this has to go with facing things that are inside ourselves that are not easy to look at. So this card, which is really funny because this card in the upright is still indicating kind of like something difficult, a difficult lesson here that somebody's working through. And then so right then, the fairy godmother is typically a really good card, but it's in the reverse. When this card, this energy is in the reverse, this is somebody who's making things harder than they actually need to be. They're kind of making their own life a bit of an uphill struggle. Probably, right? Related to not looking at things within themselves. There's kind of like something difficult here that they need to look at within themselves that they're not doing. And it's obviously not going to be an easy thing to do. But once they do it, it makes everything else easier. But by not doing it, it's making everything around them 10 times harder than it has to be. It's kind of like, well, probably not so much when you're an adult. When you're a little kid and you have like a sliver, like something like that in your hand. And it's like, oh, that hurts. And, somebody who's responsible and has good eyesight and good hand-eye coordination can say, okay, it's gonna hurt for like a split second, and then I'm gonna pull the sliver out, and then you're gonna go on with your day, and it's gonna feel great. Oh no! And then literally saw a kid doing this. It's like walking around in the play yard, like all recess with this sliver in her hand. Like, just let me pull it out. It's gonna and then every time they go to move, ow, it hurts. Just pull it out, and it won't hurt anymore. That's what this feels like. Literally feels like that to me. Like, just let me pull this out and it won't hurt anymore. But and as I say, pull this out, it's like something internal here, right? That needs to come out, but they're not doing it. And because they're not doing it, it actually incapacitates them to some degree. So they can't go around the yard and have a lot of fun like everyone else would be having. So this energy also too, because their life starts to become an uphill battle, an uphill struggle, they can become judgmental, and then they start to kind of decide in their own mind who's worthy of things and who is not. So can you imagine running around in the schoolyard and you have this sliver in your hand and you won't let anyone look after it, or you won't even you can even pull it out yourself. And because we're talking about adults, I want to say there's the capacity to do that, to pull it out yourself. But now, you can't play on the toys. You can't play on the bikes. Or if you do, you can't steer yourself properly because you're not able to use this hand. So now you're upset because life isn't going your way and you're not having the kind of fun that you'd like to have. But then also, you see other people that, they're using both hands. They're not in pain. They're having fun during recess. Well, that's not fair. Well, pull the fucking thing out of your hand. For God's sakes, and you'll have fun. Anyways, so then this Faf the Footer. So this is where it gets really interesting. Because when he's in the reverse, when he's in the upright, he's trying to tell us about, grounding yourselves, the importance of doing that. But when it's in the reverse, it's kind of indicating you're kind of creating bubbles in your world. So you could be creating bubbles, and these bubbles may be types of isolation that are going on, but they could, I know this, I don't know why. In your readings lately, collective, you've been simple, but the things outside of you have been complicated. Okay, I'm just interrupting myself for a second because one of the things that came towards me in this reading when I sat down, it reminded me of a reading that I did a while ago, maybe a few weeks ago. And in this collective reading, it was talking about somebody's going through their awakening, kicking and screaming. But I really felt like it kind of symbolized a lot of people. So I think, these readings have been coming out of the way that they are because this energy is around you and it's present, and it could have an effect on you if you're, not being proactive or not being, aware of it, but you don't want to be aware of it to the point where it's pulling you off your course, right? So anyways, we're going to get into you in this reading. I swear to God, but this is so fascinating what is over here. So these bubbles, it could be bubbles of isolation, and even looking at things in terms of in bubbles. So what you see in this bubble is what that is, and it can't exist over here with this other bubble or in here. Now, these are poppable bubbles. That's the problem. So these bubbles get popped, and then it can kind of also signify somebody's sense of a false reality that then gets popped. and they're not sure how to deal with it because they're not grounded in the first place. But it takes it right back to the upright card here, Opponent's Wild Daughter. Is there something that you need to look in here of yourself that is not right for you and you're not addressing it? So you're making yourself go through life incapacitated, but you're the one causing the incapacitation, but then you're judging the world around you because they're functioning fine and you're not, but it's your fucking fault. Anyways, okay, ungrounded and unrealistic. Well, there we go. That's kind of how it goes. So then this is funny. This is the part I'm going, oh, when I shuffled for you, you got one card that came out with your fairy, right? You don't seem too complicated right now, but you do seem curious. Maybe there is curiosity around you. Maybe you are like just between you and one very close friend right now. Maybe it does seem like the whole world is going through a hissy fit in some type of awakening process. You're like, okay, I'm just going to sit over here with my other friend who I feel like is kind of, grounded and realistic and does their own sort of work on themselves and is accountable for their own life. Okay, so this energy has the mountain, the poppy, and the fox. So the mountain symbolizes a great obstacle in the way and you can't move forward. Something different. And that's sitting right under the first one, which is the Opponent's Wild Daughter. There's something here that you need to look at or you're not going forward. And then the poppy can talk about, it can talk about sleep and dreams. And it can talk about, trying to understand things through that, which is kind of funny too, because the fairy godmother in the upright is kind of like dreams and things like that coming true. But the poppy card can also talk about, like, if you fall asleep, it reminds me a little bit of the Wizard of Oz, where wasn't it a poppy field where they fell asleep in the poppy field? It was some kind of a field. But anyways, the poppies, the opium, the illusions, yeah. So being in an illusion because not realizing that there's an obstacle in front of yourself that you need to face and you refuse to do it. Someone, maybe it's a group, maybe it's a person, but that's going on here. And then the fox though. Okay. So the fox card can talk about, there's somebody around you who's against you. There's, let me go back in the book. It signifies the presence of manipulation, trickery, right? This is also sitting under the poppable bubble. So it suggests the need to be cautious and watchful as someone may be trying to deceive or take advantage of you. The fox card encourages you to trust your instincts and employ your wit and cleverness to navigate any potentially deceitful situations. So where I'm getting with this is, I don't know if this is someone that you've closed your energy off to, because yours, right? Like, it's almost like there's something about you that's inaccessible. Like even the fairies aren't there. There's no fairy energy. But I do feel like maybe you have somebody that's close to you and you confide in this person. Or maybe it's like a best friend. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe, I don't know. It's birds of a feather. So you and whoever this other energy is, are very simpatico, so like even like they're sharing tea, they're getting together. I don't know, I kind of feel like this energy is disconnected from you and it's kind of thinking, oh, they're against me, or do you know what I mean? Like that could kind of actually start to happen with the cards that we've seen here. So I kind of feel like this energy is possibly creating a false narrative in their mind about you. Then the card, also the fox card can symbolize voluptuousness, lust, and intrigue. So this person might be going through like lustfulness, which to me kind of feels like unhealthy desires in this situation. All right. And to move forward at a leisurely pace, display diplomacy, and avoid arguments with anyone. So this energy to me feels a little bit like suspicious, but it's sitting under the poppable bubbles. Like it is almost like a false narrative that somebody has created here. Because I don't know, like maybe you close your energy off to something. But if you did close your energy off to this, it kind of makes sense to me. I remember the kid at one point, I was like, you know what, just go. You're not going to let me help you. And all you're going to do is complain. I got stuff to do. So like, okay, if you decide you want me to pull out the sliver, come around. But otherwise, no. Or if you want me to show you how to pull it out, but I don't have time for this. I got other shit to deal with. Maybe. I don't know. Right? And then I could just like, oh, Miss Cindy doesn't like me. She only likes the other kids that have two hands. Okay, good, whatever. So then you get this underline. I'm talking about lock, right? You have mill, which is signifying hard work and the results of hard work. And then you have a crossroads. So it's kind of like, you're doing hard work, but that's the interesting thing, right? Because you have the birds of a feather, and it's, I don't know. This is like, I want to say this could be even a complete reset or something that you've done here that's completely reset your energy. And it's like pushed everything away from you except one significant person. And then, right? So you come to a crossroads. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep this energy with you? Perhaps these could be friendships. It could be a friend. Now, there's something else that played out in my head while I was pulling out these cards before I went on camera with you. And I was seeing something play out. Like if you ever entered a work environment and there's people there that have been obviously working there before you, and you don't really know the full social dynamic in this workplace. And there's somebody who might seem quite keen in getting to know you initially and quickly. And over time, this might be something that you would recognize and you would be able to steer clear of it, or you would, put up your boundaries pretty quick, because it's almost like, I feel like this, it's kind of like this energy. It's incapable of looking at what it really needs to look at to be successful in life. It's not going to be comfortable. There could be pulling out the sliver, even just touching the sliver really hurts. It does. It increases the pain, but it's for a much shorter period of time than how long you go on with the damn thing in your hand. So I was getting this energy of like, you've entered a new work environment. Okay, and this could just be metaphorical. It probably is for many of you, and it could be literal for some of you. But you've entered a new work environment, and then somebody kind of befriends you or wants to get close with you, and they want to help you with a new project. Maybe the boss is giving you a whole new project here because you're new, so you can look at this from a fresh set of eyes. So the boss is giving it to you in this situation. And this person keeps coming over like, can I help you with this? Is there anything I can help you with in this? And then at first you're kind of like, okay, well, that's really nice. I appreciate that. I'm new here and you're willing to help. But the thing is, this person isn't successful. They're not successful, and they haven't become successful, but it's almost like they want to try to taint your vision of them early on, because everybody else working there pretty much knows this person. They just, I don't know. I don't want to judge anybody, but just people are like red flagged on this person. And so a lot of times they're not included in collaborations and things like that. And they're not really getting ahead. So this person kind of like clings to you because this is new energy, and I can start painting an idea about who I am to them before other energies try to or I really show who I am. But then it's kind of like, so I want to say this energy kind of gets in with you, and then at some point you become suspect. You're like, wait a second, something's not right here. Or this person suggested this and I did that, and that completely backfired in this project. And then this person also suggested that I approach the boss, the supervisor, at this time of day, on this day, and bring this to their attention. That ended up being the worst time to do this. Like, is that person trying to you may not know, is that person trying to sabotage? Or then you start to think and see things and think, you know what? I think this person self-sabotages. So I don't know that they're necessarily trying to sabotage me, but I definitely see them self-sabotaging themselves. So if they do that to themselves, they're going to do that to other people. I don't know. There's like kind of that feeling here too in this reading. So then you're sort of like, when this person comes around, I'm okay. I know you're really busy, so you work on your stuff, and everything's good right now. I don't need any help. Oh, okay. Go off. And maybe this happens over and over again. And it could be like a really polite way to try to create a boundary between like a colleague or, it might not even be a colleague, right? But what is this? Oh, now what starts to happen over here, right? So why does this person keep rejecting my help? Or why does this person not, they could become suspicious and they're, what were the other people telling them? What were other people telling them about me? Or I don't know. But then you got the door and the lock on it. So the one thing, I haven't even pulled out tarot yet. We're going to get into tarot. The one thing I kind of want to say with this reading though is, let's see. I'm going to pull out tarot on both these sides, and I'm going to kind of go into advice here for you. Because you don't want to be completely closed off to magic. Right? That would be the cautionary tale I have for you in this reading. Don't be completely closed off to the magic around you, because a blank fairy card is, to me, saying that there's no fairy energy here with you. Or you just haven't decided what fairy energy you want to take on. And I mean, fairy energy, well, I think the Brian Froud's deck, I think it's one of the most advanced energy decks that I've ever used. And the way it talks about life and the things that go on around us. So it's kind of like choosing the energy that you want to navigate with and how you want to move forward. All right, so this is going to be interesting. I had a good song coming in. It's the Bee Gees. I haven't heard me some Bee Gees in a bit. Nobody gets too much love anymore. Yes. Wait, there's something about a mountain in that too. Nobody gets too much. Oh, nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting in line. Nobody gets too much love anymore. It's as high as a mountain and harder to climb. Oh, you and me, girl, got a lot of love in store. And it flows through you and it flows through me. And I love you so much more than my life. I could see beyond forever. Everything. Oh, I could get I get the right notes in this. I could get flagged for copyright. Love is such a beautiful thing. Oh, you make my world a summer day. Are you just a dream to fade away? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know why that's coming in. But it could be like that energy. Like nobody gets too much heaven no more. It's much harder to come by. I'm waiting in line. I don't know. I think we all are. So, great. All right. I don't know. Maybe that song had meaning to somebody. Okay. Let me see. Pull some tarot out on your blank but reversed fairy card. Well, maybe you're in the process of introducing magic again, right? Because it's blank, but I'm going to reverse that. So I'm going to bring in some type of energy. What? This fairy card, blank reversed. What's the Knight of Cups? Oh, this is kind of like your heart's desires here. Your heart, trusting your heart. You might be navigating through your heart, and your heart is telling you, maybe your heart's a blank slate. The birds. Your heart could be a blank slate right now, which I want to say is not a bad thing. Oh, maybe you're waiting for heaven to write. That's kind of reminding me a bit, because it's blank. When I saw this, that kind of came into my head too. The blank piece of paper in the channeled message that I did for the significance of the eclipse between like how interesting, how the heavens view the eclipse and how mankind views the eclipse. And the heavens response to the eclipse is like, I turn the lights on and off, and just know that I turn the lights on again if the lights go off. And then the man's response was, no, I turn the lights on and off. I turn the lights on and off. And I have a blank slate and I write the script. So that's interesting. But because that was, like, it felt like man's response was the opposite of what the heavens, like, intend something like that event to be. So are you allowing something to write the script here for your heart? You have the birds, the two birds of a feather. And maybe that's what this is for you. Like, maybe you've come down to, your heart is blank at this time, but yet it is open with the Knight of Cups, in the upright, and the birds of a feather. I feel like y'all have done a bit of a reset here. Well, hi. We talked about this. I need the whole table. Whole table, Larry. Yeah, I know. Say hi. Yeah, you do your hellos. Yeah, but you see, then I can't see the cards. I know. All right, the birds. You smell like grass and catnip. Temperance. I think you're waiting for your birds of a feather. I think you're oh wow, I kind of like this energy. You're open to it being written on, the fact that it's in the reverse. It's blank and it's in the reverse. So he's just laid down on your cards. Apparently that's what we're going to talk about with your cards. Larry is like, doing like energy work on your energy cards there. So you have a blank slate. Your heart is a blank slate. And you are open, I don't know, maybe to the heavens writing a script on your heart. And this script will be written to include, I want to say, like, birds of a feather flock together, right? This is someone who you really jive with. So, I don't know, this energy outside of you, maybe this is someone you don't jive with. I know. I feel like I could hypnotize him rubbing his nose. Cute. Okay. Yeah, you do smell like fresh grass. Yeah, it's nice out there. It's good. It's good. Pona's wild daughter, the mountain. Fairy godmother in reverse, Poppy. Half the footer in the reverse, and the fox. Well, we got the Ace of Swords in the reverse here. Going with needing to look at something. You cannot move forward until you look at the mountain in front of you. Oh, the Tower. The Tower is coming in with the Fairy Godmother in the reverse and the poppies. Something's happened in this person's life. I feel like their bubble's been broken and they're suspicious of others around them. I don't even know how this connects to you. It's kind of odd, right? Maybe it's an outside collective energy, but this bubble's been popped, right? We're talking about creating like mental bubbles. I want to call them like mental bubbles. Maybe it could even be somebody compartmentalizing their life too much, but a bubble's been popped. And it's almost like they blame others or they're suspicious of others. Whoa, the Five of Swords. Well, isn't that something? I feel like this person has accomplished something. What? I don't know. I don't know what they accomplished. I kind of feel like they accomplished something that they wanted to accomplish, but yet it's kind of like the outcome didn't produce how they thought what it would be. So they won, but I don't know. It could be, for some of you, it could be the loss of friendship here. Like, walking away, or it's defeat. Kind of funny it's called defeat, right? Where the Five of Swords can kind of be like win at all costs, regardless of what, you know, is lost in that win. I don't know. And the Sun, the Seven of Cups, and the Sun is in the reverse. Yeah, this person, I don't know. This person is like these are reminding me of all the bubbles and illusions, and then not really seeing the truth and clarity. Such a curious reading. Let's look at this underline. Okay, hard work, crossroads, lock the door. Hey, Larry, hard work, crossroads, lock the door. Results of hard work, though. Oh, results of hard work. Strife. Wow, the Five of Wands. Crossroads. Oh. Yes, I do find you appealing and tempting. It's like, do you not want to pat me? Look at me. Why did your head smell weird? Where was your head? It smells like dead worms or something. Larry's been up to. It's okay. It's very earthy. Good for you. Are you masking your scent so you can hunt your tents? Whoa, the crossroads, the Ten of Swords, the lock, the Two of Pentacles. Oh, okay. I kind of feel like this hard work is maybe even trying to understand what kind of conflict exists around you, or where conflict is coming up. Again, it's kind of like surfacing of like being in a new work environment, and who is sabotaging? Is this person sabotaging me? Or are they really actually just self-sabotage, so it's just something that happens if you're hanging out with them, or what's going on there? Or crossroads is, I want to say, trying to decide perhaps if somebody's been like betraying you, or if something needs to come to an end, or yeah. But the lock with the Two of Pentacles, harmonious change. That's what it's called in this deck, so it's interesting. Trying to create change harmoniously. Well, I've never noticed that before. You see, this ship is on like a giant wave. Here, it looks like it's going to tip over. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you've definitely all been through something here. And it kind of, it feels like it's somehow connected to, you know, people going... a large number of people going through their awakenings, kind of kicking and screaming. The Ace of Wands in the upright. Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands in the upright. There was some type of plan that you had here that's been changed, and now you have the inspiration to move forward. You know, I kind of like the energy, because that Knight of Cups in the upright with the, I think you're waiting for the universe to give you magic, the heavens to give you magic, the right kind of energy, and people to grow and develop with. Yeah. Actually, I think in the extended, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the kind of fairy energy. How do I want to say it? Well, you know what? If you're leaving it as a bit of a blank slate for the universe, for the heavens, let's see what kind of energy the heavens is going to be bringing in towards you. Okay? All right. There you go. Thank you, everybody. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.